Pay close attention. What you are about to see is fulfilling Bible prophecy.
Welcome to YPN News, bringing you news that relates to Bible prophecy and foretold by Yeshua Hawkins. So what does the economy, unemployment, and shrimp all have in common? Well, all three of them are now painfully affecting many Americans. Katan, let's talk about the economy first.
Well, Jeff, you've heard the statement, as goes California, so goes the world. Well, if that statement rings true, we're looking for a scary situation across the rest of the United States. In fact, community action agencies in California are dealing with a flood of unemployed seeking emergency food, housing, and financial aid. Due to the federal government's cuts, 93,000 unemployed Californians have lost extended unemployment benefits. In most California counties, the unemployment rate is 11%, and in some counties, it's a staggering 20%. Merced County is one such place where empty factories and buildings line the streets of a once bustling town, and its citizens are anxiously waiting for the jobs to return.
Now, many families are turning to the Community Action Agency for help, but they too are running out of resources. Forecasters are predicting modest job growth in California as the economy is expected to improve, but until that occurs, many families are left to wait. They don't have any other options. So what is that high unemployment in America leading to? Well, it's leading to another high number that no one wants to see, and that's the number of hungry. Nearly 50 million Americans now experience what the government calls food insecurity. Food insecurity basically means not knowing when you'll find your next meal, and that uncertainty now affects 1 in 6 Americans.
According to the federal government, some point during the year, nearly 15% of American households are unable to provide adequate nutritious meals. Vicky Escara runs Feeding America, a network of 200 food banks that supplied 37 million Americans last year. She stated in a CBS interview, "The need has never been so great. There is hunger in every county across the United States." And Jeff, there are over 3,000 counties in the United States right now.
Wow. Now, as the ranks of unemployment and underemployment remain high, more Americans are finding they don't have the money for 3 meals a day. Vicky said the first thing that they will give up is food because it's more disposable. They can go for days without eating. They can't go for weeks without paying their rent or having transportation to their jobs.
Food pantries are seeing more first-time visitors. Retired nurse Mary Zapota has become a regular at a local pantry in New York City. She says, "I skip meals if I don't have the money." Of course, living off her Social Security benefits leaves her with only $300 a month for food after paying other bills. When asked if she ever thought that she would have to come to a food pantry to get food, she replied, "No, not at all. I used to think this was stuff that other people may need and not us."
A majority of food insecure households, as they're now called, receive some government assistance like food stamps. But even food stamps on average only provide $1.50 per meal. Katan, not enough to make a difference for those going hungry.
Wow. Well, a lack of work, a lack of food, and something that they're using right now to purport as food is actually making people sick. For our next article, we turn it over to Larry McGee, our field correspondent, who's going to tell us a little bit about the world of shrimp. Larry?
Thanks, Katan. Prompted by reasons unknown, CBS's Jim Avila decided this week to send imported shrimp to a laboratory to be tested for chemicals and antibiotics. According to his report, despite the documented danger of its consumption, Americans nonetheless consume over 1 billion pounds of shrimp per year. That's 4 pounds per citizen and enough to fill 2 Empire State Buildings. Moreover, Avila found that 90% of that huge amount is imported from countries such as Thailand, India, China, and Indonesia, where the already toxic nature of the scavenger crustacean is being further heightened by crowded farming conditions which promote disease and expose the shrimp to hazardous chemicals. Patty Lovera of Food and Water Watch, interviewed by CBS for the story, communicated that because of the prevalence of disease on the small and crowded farms, producers have now began employing antibiotics and other chemicals in an effort to keep the shrimp alive and grow them faster. To test for increased toxicity, ABC sent shoppers to collect 30 samples from various locations across the country, and sure enough, in addition to the high levels of toxins naturally contained in shrimp tissue, CBS's lab results confirmed the presence of illegal, harmful, and banned antibiotics in quite a number of the samples submitted, including nitrofurazone, chloramphenicol, and enrofloxacin, all prohibited antibiotics, and every single one of them strongly suspected to be contributing factors in the development of cancer. For some, the solution for the concerns presented by the CBS report lies simply in an effort to refrain from purchasing foreign shrimp, and is solved rather quickly by the choice to buy domestic. Yet for more enlightened cultures who refrain from eating seafood altogether, Mr. Avila's findings serve as further proof of what they've known for centuries, that it is not simply because something tastes great that it is great for us. For YPN News, I'm Larry McGee. Katan Jeff, back to you.
Thank you, Larry. Absolutely disgusting to know that they would actually consider that a food. This might seem like a hopeless situation listening to these articles, but the fact is there is hope, and that is Yisrael Hawkins and the House of Yahweh. Stay tuned as he brings you Bible prophecies as found in the Holy Scriptures. For all of us here at YPN News, I'm Katan Alexander.
And I'm Jeffrey Heimerman.
Thank you for joining us.